I'd like to add to that portion that I call disappointment from those who say they love God and their loving God is so different than what I understand loving God to mean. There have been times when I was so far off the mark, when I expected so much of you. How dare I to judge you in such a manner or in any manner? And as time passed by, I could find myself being relieved of the pressure that I had built for myself by recognizing that you are not my responsibility. You are just my love. You're God's responsibility. And so I have to recognize the straight and narrow. I'm coming back because when I ended on the last video, I was having a good time recognizing the truth, the end that you didn't get there but getting it here. The straight and narrow. That means what level God has brought you to is the level that you are required to walk. Not being judged by what somebody else thinks, and all of that is behind you now. You are walking according to God, if God is that serious in your life. Some people just have a thought of God. And that's about as far as they can get with it. Now, what do you think about a person like that? Hey, they just haven't gotten there. What about you? Are you any closer? And for those who are judging these, are you any closer than they? In other words, are you on the straight and narrow? Are you really saying to yourself now that it doesn't matter if the rest of the world, if everybody else in the rest of the world, in the rest of the United States of America, if they see the systems moving the way that they are and they are satisfied with it, that is all right with me, if that's what they desire. It's all right with God. Because he said, you shall reap what you sow, the seed you planted, the fruit you get. So that's a given. That's natural. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. But something threw me off that path. Something threw me in a different path. A path to say that to hell with that. I've been to the trough eating with the hogs. I've seen the dirtiest parts of life. I know where it is. I know where it comes from. I know what it's all about. But I've seen the bright and the morning stars shining so gloriously for all to see. Yet so many were asleep. Yet the rays of light, of hope and desire and aspiration beamed for all, that they might be free. And yet they slept. But I didn't. And you know, the straight and narrow is where I found myself. And so, when Adam was given a choice to eat of the apple or not, and chose to, his proper action was not to eat off the apple. That was meant not to go along with the new system. Resist the new system. That was Adam's responsibility. That is our responsibility. Each of us have that responsibility. That's why it's a straight and narrow, because each of us has that responsibility. Sure, there are many who've given in and says the world's way is better than this. But at the same time, each of us are given that responsibility. Do we go with the world, or do we do what Adam should have done? You say what Adam should have done. What was that? Well, what did Jesus do? Did Jesus give in to the world even when they offered apparently anything that any human being could ever want? I mean, Jesus had the power that Donald Trump wished he had. I mean, just given to him. Everything he could imagine would have been his. The only thing he had to do was just do it the world's way, not the straight and narrow. But Jesus did it the straight and narrow, signifying to all who would not be on the side of Adam must be on the straight and narrow. And the straight and narrow requires that if enough of you, perhaps you could change society. But if not, it's each one on the straight and narrow. The door is only open big enough for you to get through. For you to get through. What does that mean? That means you have met the requirement. You have turned your back on the way of the world, and heaven is your reward. Now I know that sounds crazy to those who don't know anything about God. But to those of you who do, that sounds great. Now, what that means, that's up to you. I just thought I'd come back and say that to you to clarify things. Thank you so very much. Bye-bye.